Voters are casting their ballots today in some key state and congressional primary elections that are taking place across the U.S. Competitive House primary races are happening in Oklahoma. In Georgia, we're tracking runoffs for a number of state positions. And in Virginia, we're keeping a close eye on tight House and Senate races. And that's where we find our Shawna Mizelle. Shawna, great to see you. Let's start off with what's probably the most attention-getting race in Virginia this cycle, Bob Good. He is the congressman for Virginia's 5th District. He's the chair of the House Freedom Caucus. He's super conservative. So why is President Trump endorsing his opponent?
Nancy, good evening. It's great to be with you. Former President Donald Trump has been very vocal and involved in this particular race. Bob Good, he's an incumbent congressman, as you mentioned, leads the House Freedom Caucus, but he actually endorsed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the Republican primary, and that has been to Trump's disdain. Trump actually participated in a tele-rally for Good's opponent, Mr. McGuire, last night. He said Bob Good has not been good for Virginia. So tonight we'll be looking to see just what impact the former president has in that conservative district when it comes to who voters decide to send to the general election this November. But it's not just former President Donald Trump that's been involved in this particular race. You also have former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who has backed Mr. McGuire as well. And that really stems from the fact that Bob Good was one of the 8 Republicans that voted to vacate McCarthy from his speakership.
Yeah, a lot of bad blood there. Good did eventually endorse Donald Trump after his chosen candidate, Ron DeSantis, dropped out of the race, but that was clearly not enough for Trump. Okay, so you're actually joining us from the 7th congressional district in Virginia, Shawna. There's a crowded field of Democratic and Republican candidates there. They're all hoping to fill this seat being left vacant by Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, who's running for governor there. This is one of those classic swing districts. It could go either way. How's that race shaping up?
That's right. Spanberger has announced that she will run for the governor's office in 2025. And in this toss-up race, one of the names that really sticks out in that crowded field of candidates vying for Spanberger's seat is going to be Eugene Vindman. You may remember Eugene Vindman and his brother, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman. They were part of that first impeachment against former President Donald Trump. Eugene actually was a part of flagging that phone call in which Trump told Zelensky he would send that aid that Congress had already approved if Zelensky could dig up some dirt on Joe Biden. And that is at the top of mind of a lot of voters here in Stafford as they head to polls and vote in that particular race. Let's take a listen to what some of them told me today.
It's a big community, and it will have an impact. But it also depends on, what side they're leaning, because you have some veterans here that support the other guy, GOP, and there are some that have stood up, like Vindman stood up against Trump, and was pushed out out of the military because he did support his views. So that's important to me.
He and his brother were both done dirty, my opinion. Personal opinion, everybody's got one. So he can relate to what's going on as far as the politics. I saw it when I worked at the Pentagon. I know what it's like. It's not nice, but he is the man that will represent the vast majority, especially women, here in the state of Virginia.
So both of those voters that we just heard from are actually veterans like Eugene Vindman. So we'll be looking to see just what that military experience means for voters as we see results come in. Polls are expected to close at 7 o'clock this evening.
Vindman certainly has a lot of name recognition. We all remember him and his brother from that first impeachment. Shawna Mizelle, thank you so much.